Gentlemen, thank you very much for being here with us both. Now, let's start maybe, Frank, with you. This market, it is pulling back right now, but in the guise of all-time highs, it's fairly small. Has it been surprising to you just how resilient the market has been over the course of the last, say, 6 to 12 months?
Tom, thanks a lot for having me. Well, I think it has been, but if you think about how this has come back, it's typical. You see a very big volatility event, but you have excessive buying at the very beginning, and then typically it can then morph into an uptrend that's more consistent like you've seen now. Very consistent because we've only seen a pullback about 3.5% from a high. But it's very similar to what we saw from the late 2023 to early 2024, where things really went the same way until March. So I think, we're getting to a spot in volatility typically seen in September. We'll see if it comes, but I think we have to take it for where it comes. So I'm looking at bullish patterns, see if they continue to work. When they start to fail, then it can tell us that momentum is changing.
All right. Now, David, this is a situation as well where many folks who engage in this market are not just retail investors, maybe not even just mutual fund type managers, but also ones who are at corporations, who are saying the economic environment, seeing their corporate fundamentals. We just got through a big earnings season. Is there any change right now in sentiment with regard to how some of the people who run the biggest companies in America are treating this kind of an economy and market?
Well, I think when you compare to how things looked earlier in the year when there was the tariff scare, things have really changed quite a bit. You have interest rate cuts, and they're clear now, and they intend to follow through with it. Close to record unemployment, nice GDP growth, CPI inflation's pretty much under control. So I think people see this as a pretty optimal environment to be investing into.
What kind of situations do you see developing right now with regard to where the opportunities could be based upon the kind of research you do over at Catalyst?
Well, I think the best opportunities are in the places where you see a combination of high revenue growth, strong margins, and the insiders at the firms, the CEO, CFO, chairman buying into the stock of those companies. So the firms that are generally clearly doing the best, where you also see insider buying, I think are the situations where it's most palatable right now to be investing into.
And where are you seeing those types of opportunities? What types of companies are you seeing that at?
So Robinhood's one of my favorites. They've been seeing massive revenue growth, huge earnings growth. They've diversified their product lineup in a very big way. And they've really created a great flywheel for their business that as the business grows, it becomes easier for them to continue growing and growing faster. And certainly for a company like Robinhood, a good stock market's great for their business as well.
And Frank, your setups, you mentioned them, right? You track all of these different types of stocks, industries, sectors, macro. Where exactly are the opportunities that you see? Where are the setups the most optimal right now?
Well, interesting one is gold, because as we know, it's been getting close to new all-time highs. About to break down, I think it will. If you look back over the last few years, we know it's been an uptrend, but it hasn't been a straight shot higher. There's been periods of consolidation along the way. By my count, it's been 3 different breakouts since 2023, and I think this one is about to happen again. And now that could come with more volatility in equity, so it can be an easy way to see rotation into gold this time. And don't forget, gold miners are already broken out, so maybe have some rotation out of that into the commodity.
How about so-called digital gold? Bitcoin has been an interesting trade so far. We got those record highs, and then we pulled back fairly significantly. Just how important is that Bitcoin trade to this market right now?
Extremely. And one of the key reasons is that if you look back in the history of Bitcoin, the S&P 500, they tend to not move in opposite directions for long periods of time. So Bitcoin obviously has come off the high, say 13, 15%. If we don't have that big come in again, then there's a real case for the S&P to pull back in a more material way.
And what exactly is the biggest fear that you have for the rest of the year?
Well, that the first sell-off really gets much more aggressive, right? I think people are, both bulls and bears are expecting some sort of pullback, but nothing much more severe.
And David, what's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear is geopolitical instability. I think just something that derails the situation that we're currently in, which is pretty sanguine.